What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. The NFLPA, second year they've done this, where they have polled their players, right, with a survey. And this has been about the quality of the franchise, everything from the treatment of families, like I said, the food and cafeteria, the nutritionist/dietitian set of the locker room, the training staff, the weight room, the strength coaches, the travel, the head coach, and ownership. Now, the NFLPA makes this very public when it's done. And it's very easy to read, very easy to get to, very easy to find. And look, and they say, look, this is not about shame. This is just about showing areas in which it can improve. And to be fair, it has causes teams to act, right? Like it's hard to argue with the NFLPA doing this that it's not a good move, because a lot of times, even after year one, you would see a situation in which somebody would this sounds really dumb, but like the Chiefs had stools in the locker room. The players wanted chairs, they had chairs. The next year, there were teams that didn't have like family waiting rooms in the stadium for families. They had it the year after, right? And so it has been an agent of change. Let's look at how the New Orleans Saints check in, and then let's look at kind of the NFL as a whole. So the Saints suffer a bit of a drop in this year's rankings. They were 10th out of 32 teams last year. That is down to 19th. Out of 32 teams. And perhaps one of the greatest ironies in our sports talk market, for the second year in a row, the Saints score dead last, or I guess they weren't dead last this year, but score an F in the food/cafeteria portion of the equation. Last year was an F-. They were 32nd. This year they're 30th. They don't offer 3 meals a day. They don't have, I think they're one of like 2 teams to do that, or maybe the only team. They don't have very healthy options, the players say, and they don't have very quality options either. So in a city defined by food in so many different ways, in a state, in a culture, the New Orleans Saints are the worst in the NFL.
That is a little bit surprising. And the 3 meals a day, I'm trying to think. I know in San Diego we got 2, Denver we got 3. So I'm not sure how every team handles that. It should probably just be 3.
Yeah, nowadays. I mean, that's everybody's doing 3 now, basically. Yeah. That's why it's a highlight that the Saints
when you get
not.
there, like you eat breakfast, everybody has lunch, and then like you got to have something for them to at least like pick up and go for dinner. That's
it's a billion.
It's highly disappointing.
They got too much money. So that's disappointing. But most fans are going to be like, kind of whatever, right? Now, to be fair, if you look these up, the Saints got a D+ on treatment of families. However, that's a bad grade, but it's kind of in line with the NFL. That ranks them at 20th. So they're not like some outlier bad. Like, apparently all players in the NFL just feel like the teams and organizations should have better communication with their families and should be better. They score very highly in the locker room department. Or not very high, but 12th in locker room. Feel like they got enough space and everything. In the training room, it's all the way up to 4th. Cold tub, hot tub setup's great. They appear to like the training staff. That's 15th. The weight room's 14th. Strength coaches, 14th. Team travel was one of their high marks. Nobody shares rooms, 7th. Which apparently that's phasing out now too. Yeah. Which I'm sure when you were there, the young cats always had to bunk up.
So for the Chargers, it was 2 years. I think your first 2 years, like you were going to room with somebody, you could buy yourself out of it. And on home games, like you had the option, even if you're a veteran player. And so me and Tolbert, like we didn't care. So like on home games, we'd room together. And then away games, I'd have my own room when I was a veteran player. So you can buy your way out of it. The number is like actually stupid high.
Yeah, the Buck. I read a number today. I think it was the Bucks or somebody. It's like 1750.
Okay,
1750
to
do it.
So it's like I'm not paying $1,500. Like me and Tolbert are boys. Like we'll room together. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, and again, it's like, okay, somebody says, dude, these people have money. Like, go buy food. I feel you on that, but again, put yourself in the employee's shoes. I mean, every employee always feels
so does LSU football. They have money now, but they get however many meals that they want from our guy, Chef Michael Johnson.
Yeah,
like, it's the same
Yeah, the
situation.
players
like
do have money now.
you want to
That's
make sure that your players are eating like to the best of your ability things they should be eating.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL and especially athletics, like, yes, like the food portion of it becomes a situation where you can get actual tangible benefits based off of like better healthy options, right? Like, absolutely. From like the room and board standpoint, like, yeah, you got the money to pay for that, but at the same time, what employee has ever looked at their employer and been like, yeah, I'll willingly pay for this? No, like, you're $1 billion company. Your franchise worth multi-billion dollars.
When you
I'm
go
going to
on
be hard pressed to feel like I should pay $2,000 so I don't have to use a roommate, which, to be fair, the Saints did not do.
When you go on a business trip, do you expense your room or do you pay for it? No, the company pays for it, or if you pay for it, you expense it later on. They pay you back.
Yeah,
you don't get paid back that $1,750 that the Bucs are paying. So yeah, you can say how much money these players have, but in every other job in America, they pay for the hotel room.
I mean, yeah, it's just simple, right? I mean, nobody's ever been like, I wish my employee would cover less of my living costs. So of course, players are going to strive for more. Now let's get to the big thing here, though, because head coach is on the list.
Yeah.
Who do you think came in last in terms of head coach? And it's funny because they scored very highly everywhere else because they got a brand new stadium that's incredibly nice.
And the Raiders.
Yes.
Has to be. McDaniels is terrible.
So this was asked in the McDaniels era, and McDaniels was 32 out of 32, absolutely hated and loathed by that locker room. Unfortunately, does not exactly represent a ringing endorsement of Dennis Allen either. Now, Dennis Allen comes in at a B-, but to show you that players are kind of, that sometimes it's less about the letter grade and more about where you rank, because like one thing I thought was kind of funny is like the strength coach has got an A- for the Saints, but that makes him 14th. What that tells me is meatheads just love their strength coach.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about my strength coach. Yeah, because like who you work with 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So for the most part, people are pretty respectful of their head coaches. B- sounds good, but then it goes to 29th. And then it says 84% of players feel that head coach Dennis Allen is efficient with their time. That's 22nd overall. And the players feel that Dennis Allen is somewhat willing to listen to the locker room. That is 28th overall. Especially interesting, given the drama at the end of the year, the players now directly speaking to a disconnect that we all kind of knew was already there.
That's not good, Bob.
No.
That is not good. But I mean, that's what we've known. Like, that's not a surprise. And like you just laid out, like whenever all that happened with the Falcons at the end of the year, like even the most like veteran players that are the face of the franchise type guys didn't stick up for Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
They all stood behind Jameis Winston. Every single one of them, to a man, right? They had his back before they had their head coach's back. So that's not surprising at all. Like, in fact, like Cam Jordan was mad. Like, he's like, I would have scored again on the Falcons if I could have.
So look, DA's not going anywhere. But this just kind of underscores the fact that they got some work to do in terms of repairing some of those relationships and getting those players to believe in Dennis Allen and what he can accomplish with this team. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.